lie to yourself that it's healthy because Cosmopolitan told you so, then that's on you. But attacking others and trying to force others to engage in your own delusions is where I draw the line.
You draw the line there? Then why do you keep crossing the line? I mean, Blaire, you just said where you draw the line. And yet this whole entire video, you've been crossing it. Hello, it's Damian Lilacs. I am here today in a hotel room because some crazy things happened at home and I just needed to get away to be safe. So I'm here in a hotel room, so I'm sorry for all the odd noises and such that you might encounter during this video, unlike normal. But I am doing a video today on a reaction to Blaire White's video. She did a video on pretty much people that are a little bit bigger, which, no issue. Everyone's body type is different. Who cares, really? But what she had to say was quite interesting and very controversial, so we'll have some fun reacting to this. I will have to do some certain things that may affect my videoing today because some of our systems are a little wonky because of new location for temporarily measures. So I'm sorry about that. Here we go.
So for the duration of my very peaceful vacation, I really had nothing to be mad about in life for weeks. That, of course, changed now that I'm back on social media. And I had an entirely different video planned for today, but this came across my timeline, and I felt particularly impassioned about it. We need to talk about the fat positivity movement. Now, if you're an OG subscriber, comment below if you are, but be honest. You'll remember that I did one video on this movement.
What is wrong with this movement? Why can't people who literally possibly might not be able to control their weight, why can't they be proud and have a movement to show that maybe not everyone can be skinny? Because sometimes people have medical issues that cause them to gain weight. And that's just what happens. They can't lose that weight sometimes. And why should we body shame? Why not just, let them love themselves and embrace who they are? I mean, you're transgender, Blaire. You wanted to be able to embrace that you're transgender, right? Well, you were born in the wrong body, so were they. They were born with medical conditions, possibly, that causes this. It's the same kind of thing as being trans. There's no choice. It's just, it happens. It happens with some people. Now, some people do choose to get a little bit more pounds on, although that's their choice. It's not hurting you, so why worry?
Honestly, I've never gotten more hate, more long-lasting hate from any social movement or any social group than the fat positivity movement, which is crazy because, I've made all of them mad at one point or the other.
How is that crazy for bashing on people that are a little bit overweight, maybe? I mean, no surprise you got people bashing on you. I mean, you're just flat out being rude to people who might not be able to control that aspect of their life. I mean, seriously, of course. Of course people are going to be mad.
I find myself even a little nervous to talk about this because the fat positivity movement has only grown since then.
If you feel nervous talking about this, why are you talking about this? I mean, obviously something in your body and mind is telling you this is not okay, this is not good, this is bad. Why don't you listen to that little thing that tells you this? That's the anxiety that you had.
So Cosmopolitan, the wretched, treacherous Cosmopolitan, recently released these dumpster fire images. So obviously these images feature overweight women with the title, "This is Healthy." Now, this is amazing. This is just amazing. The fact that they would really release these in the midst of, a global health crisis.
They released them probably during a global health crisis because they wanted people to love themselves and not do harm to themselves like a lot of people have been doing the last year because of the things that we're going through as a world, as a nation. We're all going through very, very bad struggles at the same time. So what if people go out and try to embrace their own body during a time like this? I mean, at least if they're wearing a mask, who cares? As long as they're wearing a mask. I don't care at all. And look, all they're trying to do is just exercise. And that she's bad-mouthing. Exercising. Isn't that technically healthy? So for a person that is a little overweight to exercise, I mean, that's good for them. That's healthy. This is exactly what the magazine says. It's healthy.
Going around that's particularly dangerous for obese and overweight people. That thing. So in any other timeline, I probably would have just like seen this and just like laughed at it, said, oh, that's stupid, and kept it pushing. But the fact that they really thought this was the right time to lie to people in this way, I mean, they might as well put me on the cover and said, these are real. Like, it would have been just as much of a lie. Real expensive, but not real.
It is real to go out and try to exercise. And I mean, it is real that some people have medical conditions that cause them to have fat grow on their body. That is all real things. Maybe the implants that you've had might not be real, but those people that you're bad-mouthing, that is all them. 100% them. That is all real.
Your life, trying as hard as you can to be as non-offensive as you can't relate.
We know you can't relate because you are so mean to everyone. You are the rudest one, literally, on YouTube, including Calvin Gray and Ben Shapiro. You all three are just mean. So of course.
So I've never talked about this before, but about a year ago, almost exactly a year ago, it was right after Christmas last year, Joey was convinced he had my fiance Joey. And he got really, 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 really sick to the point where he almost wanted to go to the hospital. Like, I've never seen him or many people that sick, to be honest. So living with him, I naturally caught what he had. And so I got sick as well. But the level to which I was sick was so disproportionate. I had barely any symptoms at all. It was more of like, oh, my nose, I'm coughing a little bit. Whereas he was on some like devastating level of sick. And that actually goes hand in hand with what we know about, which is that, you know, it affects obese people and overweight people much more. He is overweight. I am not overweight. That's just real.
Yes, Blaire, what you just said is real. People, yes, that are a little bit overweight do tend to have worse side effects. So do people that have autoimmune disorders. So do people that are older, like in the age range that could affect them as elders. I mean, yes, all those things are real, but you just said that bigger people are real. Because you just called your husband real. And you also called him that. So you're bad-mouthing your husband on YouTube, which is really, really sad and very low. Most relationship partners would not badmouth their partner on YouTube.
And it's really annoying, I have to say this, because you should just know this. I do not believe in like body shaming people or making fun of people for their weight or telling your loved one who may or may not be overweight, like, lose weight. It's like, that is counterproductive, just like this cover is counterproductive. It doesn't make any sense. It's really, really mean, and you're really a bad person if you make fun of someone for being overweight or heavy.
Yes, you are a bad person if you make fun of people for being overweight, and it's not funny. It really is not. Although, Blaire, it is so funny that you added that in this video while you're bad-mouthing them. That is funny. That is just gold. That was my favorite thing in this video. It's just you literally bad-mouthing people and telling others, don't bad-mouth people though. They don't deserve it, but I'm gonna go ahead and do it because I'm allowed to. No, you're not allowed to. No one is allowed to bad-mouth. Why? Why do you think that's okay? It's not. It's just rude. Very, very, very rude.
In this culture, do we have to constantly exist in extremities? Why is there no difference in some people's mind between body shaming someone and calling someone a and flat out lying to them and saying that being obese is healthy? Is there no middle ground?
They're not saying obesity is healthy necessarily. They're saying you can live as being obese and be healthy with your eating habits, your exercise habits, certain medications you can take. There are ways to be healthy with whatever weight you have. It doesn't mean, like, I'm not healthy. I'm skinny, and I'm not healthy. I need to get healthy. Although, there's a lot going on in my life right now that's really hard. I'm trying. So it doesn't matter how much you weigh. It matters what you eat, what you do, and all of that. It does not matter how much you weigh.
For the fat positivity movement, her entire career is like lying to other chronically obese people that it's perfectly okay for them to be that way, and you have to love yourself, and loving yourself means staying obese, even though in my eyes it takes a lot more love to change yourself if you're like that.
You can be who you want to be, and there's no shame in it. If that's how you're happy, then do you. Why do you think people feel...
They never once said, like, she just quoted for being obese is, like, to stay being obese. She said, if you're okay with it, then embrace it. I mean, what else can you do? I'm not in the body that I want to be in because I'm trans and I would rather be in a male body. Although, I'm embracing the body I got. I am using terminology that makes me have less dysphoria. I'm embracing what I got. That's all she's encouraging people to do. Is just embrace what you have. What you have to live with on a daily basis. Why shame someone for that? Why?
Singer Lizzo recently faced just a ton of, in my mind, disgusting backlash for her decision to finally lose some weight. Now, Lizzo rose to stardom, and part of her brand and her image was being a heavier girl and being accepting of that and loving that and being happy with how she is. Well, turns out, you know, that can only last for so long, and she decided to go on a weight loss journey and share it on her social media. The reactions? I'm so heartbroken that Lizzo has just done a diet detox and broadcasted it to her millions of followers. If you have also seen it and are feeling like your body needs to change, it doesn't. You're perfect as is. Your worth is abundant. Now imagine being heartbroken over someone else's decision to change their own body. A stranger, that's gross, and saying if you feel like your body needs to change, it doesn't. What if it does though?
She has a point here. If someone chooses to change their body, they have every right to change their body. And they shouldn't have backlash going on. I mean, Lizzo probably just, like, wanted to lose weight for herself and film it and such to empower people who want to lose weight to show them that they can. She probably didn't make it to be like, oh, you have to lose weight. She probably made it just because, like, hey, if you want to lose weight, you can do it. Here, do it along with me. I mean, that is great. That is good. We need people to do that. We also need people out there embracing all shapes and sizes, everything of bodies. Like, it doesn't matter what body you have, embrace it. Just embrace it because it's all you have. And what else can you do if that's all you have? I mean, you can change it, although at the time being, why not embrace it while you're changing it?
Tough love. And that doesn't mean, by the way, you should be giving unsolicited advice. Like, you don't need to go down the street and see a heavier person and be like, because I love you, lose weight. Like, leave them alone. But to make these just blanket statements on social media is different.
I like how she's making these blanket statements on social media while she's saying this. And kind of bad-mouthing at the same time. And yet she says we shouldn't bad-mouth. Yikes, Blaire. Maybe you should take your own advice. You sometimes got good advice. You just don't follow it.
posted was so effed. If you are triggered and upset by it, I am there with you. Now, I sometimes wonder how these people really, truly exist in the real world. The fact that you can find personal victimization in someone else doing something positive for themselves, something objectively positive, by the way. Like, I'm not even going to play that game with you. It's not even just a matter of opinion. Like, Lizzo losing weight was objectively good for her.
Honey, again, you just, contradicted yourself. Why are you allowed to do that, but yet other people aren't, in your opinion? I mean, no one should personalize things like that. They're personalizing the article that this video is based off of. You're personalizing that.
She was the kind of big that you don't really see 75, 80 plus year olds that are that heavy, because you just don't live that long when you are that heavy. So I personally applaud Lizzo, whether she, yo-yos back and doesn't actually lose all the weight and whatever. Just the fact that she's attempting to be healthy, it's really good and actually sets a positive example.
Yes, it is a positive, and I'm glad she's embracing it. But what about you seeing in the beginning that article that you saw of someone trying to get healthy that is obese? You bashed on them, but Lizzo's fine. Lizzo's fine because Lizzo is What makes the difference? Really, what's the difference between Lizzo and the article earlier? They're both embracing exercise and healthy habits. So what's wrong with it?
So, the beacon of body positivity is promoting detox diets now? No. This is so disappointing. 2020 can truly get in the bin now. I like how that was her final straw. Like, of all the crazy effed up stuff that has happened in 2020, this was it for her. This was the final straw for her. And also the fact that these people find community based on being self-described fat. Like, why is that a community?
The transgender, there's a community for that. There's community for gay people. There's community for bi people. There's community for pan people. There's a community for black people. There's a community for white people. There's a community for everyone in this world. There's a community for minors and for adults, Blaire. Literally everything has a community, including chess, games. Games have a community even. Like, why are you bashing on someone just trying to gain a group of people that they can relate to and, express stuff with? What's wrong with that? You're part of a community. You're part of the trans community and the TERF community, Blaire.
It feels like a cult with the sole purpose of enabling each other.
TERFs are also a cult. You're part of that cult, by the way. And also you're trans, so you're against yourself at the same time of not being against yourself because you've already transitioned, so you think you're perfect. Anyways, no. You're still transgender. You're still transsexual. There's no way to not be. So when you bash on other people that are preferred, before transitioning, it's kind of like being a TERF and transphobic. Anyways, you're trans.
And that doesn't mean that all bigger people are unhealthy. Obviously, that doesn't mean all skinny people are unhealthy. Yada, yada. We know all that. Last year, I was struggling with my eating disorder, and I was the skinniest I had been almost ever, and I was very unhealthy. I was abusing laxatives and everything. So it's the attacks on other people trying to be healthy that gets me.
Yeah, no one's body is the same, and everyone has different eating habits. So that means literally you could be obese, the most obese person, and be next to the most skinniest person. And what makes you healthy? Exercise, eating habits, and such like that. So that obese person may be doing those healthy habits, and that skinny person may be not. Who would be healthier? Probably that obese person, because that skinny person's pretty much starving themselves. Which, please do not do that. I do have that own struggle, so I understand. So please, guys, do not do that. It's a bad thing to do. It's really hard. But I understand.
And lie to yourself that it's healthy, because Cosmopolitan told you so, then that's on you. But attacking others and trying to force others to engage in your own delusions is where I draw the line.
You draw the line there? Then why do you keep crossing the line? I mean, Blaire, you just said where you draw the line. And yet this whole entire video, you've been crossing it.
These people insist that you don't love yourself if you want to lose weight, or you don't love yourself if you want to diet, when, in my opinion, the opposite is true. It takes so much more self-love to pick yourself up and say, I need to make a positive change for my own life and for the people who love me in my life. That's so much more self-love than just eating yourself into obesity and telling yourself this is fine. It's really not fine. But that's also why body shaming people and treating overweight and heavyset and obese people badly is also counterproductive. You can't make someone feel like crap. You have to empower people.
You think you might be empowering people through this video, but you're kind of just attacking and tearing them down. It does not matter what some people do who are obese. They may not be able to lose weight because of medical conditions. Let people be people. Why do you have to hate on people? Seriously? Is this just how you make your money? It's just by hating on others that literally can't help themselves sometimes because they have medical conditions? Oh. This is a sad way to make money, Blaire. A very sad way.
And that's how you make a positive change. And the mainstream media knows that people love to be coddled like this and told lies to make themselves feel better, which is why they can run covers like this with blatant lies and people eat it up. And that's honestly one of the biggest issues I've had the past year, which is that health officials will talk all day how you need to stay at home, live in fear, all of that. But at the end of the day, why is there not more of an incentive on teaching people how to boost their immune systems, how to, do exercises that help them become more fit? I know for most people in most states, gyms are open, but here in California, gyms are closed. They've been closed since the very start.
People suggest you doing things at home to get better and take multivitamins, because going out to a gym, you have the chance of the virus spreading. You don't want to go to a gym and get all sweaty and get all hard breathing and then breathe down on someone and give them the virus. You don't want to do that. So, yes, gyms should be closed. Darn gyms for being open. Oh my lordy, it's the end of the world because gyms aren't open and we can't exercise at home and take multivitamins and eat healthier. No, doctors do not recommend that. I've never heard a doctor recommend that in my life since I was born. Every time I went to the doctors, they recommended that. They aren't recommending going to gyms because the virus can spread. So do things at home. That makes sense. Yeah. No restaurant and no gym should be open. Nothing should be open. We should all be on lockdown until it's gone or until everyone has the vaccine. We should be on lockdown because I, myself, and my significant other, we have autoimmune disorders. We get this virus, including me having seizures, we could get serious damage done. Serious damage. So, darn all those things being closed. Oh, it's so awful. It's such a bad thing. No, actually, they're all closed for a good reason. And I wish more were.
Liquor stores, fast food, it's all thriving. So it seems to me that things are just really, really backwards. I would much rather see people in the gym and being allowed to go to the gym right now than seeing lines outside of hot dog stands, which is the case here all over the place. What? But that would make too much sense. And I'm not really where I want to be with my body, personally. With the last year of gyms being closed and just succumbing to the sedentary lifestyle that was low-key forced on us, high-key forced on us.
Darn the government for trying to protect people with low immune systems and obesity and part of the elder community. I mean, darn them for trying to do mandated mask wearing and not having people hopefully spread the virus as much. Oh, that's such a shame. I'm sorry that you're a Trumper and you can't see that people need to live and survive, and that this virus needs to be eradicated as much as possible and controlled. We all should be on lockdown. The whole entire world should be on lockdown at once for a few months. And actually, if every single person in this world listened to the lockdown rules, I would be amazed to see the numbers after that. I'm sure the numbers after that would go down a lot because there won't be that much exposure. So therefore, it would just slowly die away. And also maybe by the time, if we do all go on a lockdown right now, by the time we're able to get out of the lockdown, we all may be vaccinated. Except for sadly, the people that are anti-vaxxers, which, don't get me started on them, that ticks me off. But if we all got vaccinated and we were all on lockdown for a few months, imagine what the virus would look like then. It would probably be a lot better, and we may actually be able to open up a gym like you want, Blaire. If people wore a mask, we may be able to open up a gym then, because the virus would be controlled more, and not like it is right now.
I feel for anyone out there who's struggling with body image or changing your body or whatever. Trust me when I say I know a few things about changing my body, and also trust me when I say, because I've talked about my eating disorder in the past, I know what it is to struggle with weight gain and weight loss and all of that. So it's not that I'm insensitive, it's just that, again, there's a difference between lying to make yourself feel better and being mean to people.
Blaire, you are very insensitive. And you were bluntly lying also. And those people were not lying. They were just trying to be themselves, and they were exercising and such. Like, seriously, just realize that cover, that person was doing a yoga pose, just so you know, Blaire. That person was doing a yoga pose, which yoga's healthy to do. So how was that a lie? How was that a lie? But that's the end of the Blaire White video. I'm sorry I put you through that. It was atrocious. Although, hopefully, Blaire White will finally be one day learn from her mistakes and hopefully realize that people should not be shamed. While you're saying people should not shame other people, also, you should not be shaming them. Because that's contradicting yourself. But we don't know if she'll ever do that or not. We'll see. Also, same with the other people that I've mentioned in this video. We'll see if they do that or not, eventually. Because they all do the same exact things, surprisingly. But yeah, that was my video. And I hope you guys had a good time watching this video. If you liked it, hit the like. If you want to see more, subscribe to me and hit that bell so you know whenever I'm posting. I am posting every Tuesday and Friday at 12 p.m. CST time. And I hopefully will see you next time. Have a good day. Bye!